They had just called for boarding for rows 20 to 30 to board the flight back from Ho Chi Minh City to Singapore. And after having a really successful experience being out in Saigon, I was heading back to Singapore and just be back home. And I was getting ready to board, and as I was boarding, I had my bags on me and my medical device that I travel with. And when I got up to the front of the line, someone stopped me and they asked me to go over to the side. And then they started to go and weigh all of my bags and start questioning like what I was traveling with and how much I had with me. And it's really interesting because up until this point, I get a chance now to travel to a different country fairly often. And I'm typically traveling with 3 bags with me. But today was a day that was different. Today I got stopped and they started questioning all of my things. They had me, I'm trying right now to really make sure that I can really share this with you here. They pulled me over and I feel myself getting upset. I was getting upset because I'm like, I've gone through security, I've gone through your check-in process. Like, if there was anything that was an issue, this should have happened hours ago, not in the 5 minutes before I get onto the plane, not even the 30 seconds before I get onto the plane. So I got pulled over and they start like they start saying like my stuff is overweight. And so I'm going to have to rearrange things. And I found myself with this growing frustration because I'm like, I have 3 bags. Where else am I going to like rearrange at this point at the gate? And honestly, if I'm going to be really honest with all of you, I felt like I was being extorted. I felt like I was like right there at the gate and they held me with no other options available to me. And they said that it was going to be $40 USD. At that time, I'm in Vietnam. I'm not carrying US cash on me because they would only accept cash. And I remember thinking to myself, how? And so at this time, this is one of the parts where all of a sudden I really got a chance to see like, this is what it might actually mean to be Niiamah. Because Nemo in this situation would have gone by and said, okay, it's time to be, we're getting on a plane, we're in a foreign country, we don't want to cause any problems, like just go ahead and just do whatever you need to make them feel okay, and maybe just like plead your way on. And Niiamah was like, I'm gonna allow myself to feel what I feel in this moment. And it was great. What I felt was anger. I felt I was disappointed and angry that I was called over right before I boarded the plane. I was angry that they were asking for cash out of like nowhere. I'm like, I'm happy to like if I need to pay this thing to let me on the plane, I'm happy to pay. Just let me use my credit card to do it because I'm not carrying this cash with me, and it was a no go. And I remember there was a time the gentleman looked at me and he said, you either have to rearrange things, which was not really a possibility, or you have to throw things out. And I looked him in the face and I looked him right in the eye and I was like, sir, the things in this bag are not just stuff, they're my stuff. And it's very different. I can't even you're asking me to throw out things in here that I brought on this trip. I didn't come on this trip to like throw things away. I came to bring it back with me. Oh man, I was getting livid. And all this was happening for me internally. And externally, I'll be honest, I shared it. I was like, just so you know, you're putting me in a really difficult situation with very little time to think through this here. And I want to and as he was pressing me, I'm like, I need you to just walk away for about 2 minutes and let me consider my options and I'll get back to you here. Like, I'm good. And at this time, I need to get some space. And what I don't want you to know about me as I do this here, because I'm sitting in the middle of this here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just not gonna get on this plane. You'll see. I'll just make a fit with a fuss, and I just won't get on this plane. And luckily, my thoughts were like, no, that only hurts you, my friend. I love actually being in Vietnam, because the Vietnam airport is like either you do it or you don't get on the plane, either one or the other. But there's no we don't need to make you feel good about it. They're actually really great at being unapologetic. And what ended up happening What ended up happening was two things. One, I'll say the thing that I don't want you to know about me, because it's not gonna. As I play this game forward, I have to make sure that I'm still staying true to being really real with this journey. You see, the thing that I don't want you to know is that as this kept going, I saw more and more people come in through the lines and all that. I saw people with like these heavy like luggage cases and everything. I'm like, why isn't a single one of them being called over here? I felt so singled out, and my brain was looking for anything to just like rationalize the situation. I told him, I said like, hey, like, and this, yeah, I have to say it. I turned to him and I was like, I noticed that I'm the only person that has been that's been called out of this line, and I also noticed I'm the only person of African American descent here. And that was like, I was like, I know that this is actually not the case, but I'll be honest, I was angry, and I wanted to say it, and so I said it. And what ended up happening was eventually there was someone else that came in there, and she asked me to do the same thing. She's like, so you can go ahead and rearrange your stuff. So then I thought I was getting clever. I thought they were saying like, look, your medical device doesn't count. So like, you can just go ahead and rearrange your things. I was like, oh, I got this then. I hear what you're saying to me. My medical device doesn't count. So I try to like put things into the medical device bag to help me get on this plane, because at this point I had gone from being one of like person number 25 on the plane to the entire plane had boarded, and I'm standing in the middle of like of Vietnam. I'm like, I don't like, how's this gonna work? Like, how am I gonna get out? And so I move things into my medical device bag, and another person comes up to me and she's like, so I'm not sure what you want us to do here. You've just rearranged all the things into different bags, and like, it's still the same weight. I was like, I know. Like, you caught me at the gate. I can figure that out. Like, I'm not sure what else you want me to do. So eventually, it had been about 5 minutes since the last person got on board, and like, honestly, I'm like, while I'm feeling this internally, I'm still very much like in conversation with everyone. I'm expressing what's on my mind, but like, I haven't lost my ability to be in conversation with them, and that feels good. I ended up putting on and getting on the plane, having them check in my bags. I had to pay an extra fee when I landed at my next destination, for them to check it in, and I remember these things, and I'm sharing it. It's fun for me here because like, in this moment I want to share this and wrap it up into some nice little bow and say like, and then this is how I was in my evolved self, and as an evolved person who's self-actualized, and I'm now showing up as Niiamah. This is how it all came together. And my friends, it wasn't like that. I think I was in my non-evolved self, and that was the truth. And I remember walking out with this person, and the part that sticks with me was, we were walking out and he was like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm Asian, I'm not a racist, like, I'm just, and he just kept going. And I think the reason I can't say anything else is because I really wasn't listening, and I just remember looking at him in the eye and just giving him, it wasn't fury, it wasn't a face of fury, but it was just a face of like, you're not getting anything out of it. I'm not letting you off the hook. And my last things I said to him was, as he was trying to like explain away, I was just like, sir, I'm gonna leave you with those thoughts and let you figure that out on your own. And I got on the plane. And I was, that entire ride, I was mad. And I was like, I'm gonna get a drink. And I'm like, no, they're not gonna get a single extra dollar out of me. I remember that. Just like, So I came home, and later on, Nicole came and joined me, and she had an experience similar a couple months earlier. And while I was in my evolved space, I see you varying here. It's not evolved. I'm thinking about it as we talk. But while I was in my more evolved space, the last time that this happened, it happened to Nicole. I was like, well, this happened, and you could have handled it a certain way. And I was better than thou in that case. And so Nicole came and she's like, this situation seems a little bit familiar. I'm really sorry though that you went through that getting back here. And I said to Nicole, Nicole, don't bring that back up. Don't bring that back up. And she's like, okay, let's move on. I'm like, oh, since you brought it back up, it was so, I couldn't let it go. And I think for me, the reason for that here is because really don't give myself the chance to experience a lot of emotions. You all see me typically experiencing joy or some variation of that, and I usually don't give myself the space to actually feel. In that place there, I'm a human that is longing to really understand and to feel like what other people feel, and to have all range of emotion there. And what I find is that since I don't typically get into those states, when I do, I like to stay there a little bit. I like to enjoy that a little bit there, you know? And it's one of those things where I'm like, I want to be able to have it all. And so that evening I wrote my feedback form. I sent it all in there, and then afterwards, when I was gonna hit send, I ended up copying it and putting it into my Evernote. So it's there. I have it. I wrote out what I needed to write, but I didn't end up sending it. I think that everyone was doing their job. I may or may not use that airline in the future, but like I can make choice on that. What got me, part of the reason why I'm sending this here and making this video today is like, I then went the next morning, I do a morning routine, and my morning routine involves really just getting back into alignment with myself, centering myself, reconnecting with my purpose, and experiencing gratitude. I say experiencing rather than just like journaling about gratitude. I go back and I relive the moments. And in this case here, what came up to me was the third moment of the day. I relived 3 of them. The third experience was that experience in the airport. And I just found myself being filled with gratitude for that experience. I got a chance to feel. I got a chance to actually practice being Niiamah and not taking it on to try and make anyone else feel safe, taking it on to make anyone else feel good, and to simply just be able to be as me. And that was really fun. That was really, really fun. And it was just a place to just really go ahead and experiment with. And not just experiment, but just experience. I can feel my arm is getting tired, so I'm about to end this video here. But the thing is, right now I'm thinking about this. I'm about to have Thanksgiving dinner here in a few hours. We're organizing and having people over, and one of the things I'm just so grateful for this experience, because it's helping me really experience freedom. To experience the freedom to just be me and to actually see what are some of the benefits of it. And it's odd because it feels like you would think that the story that I would share would be of something else that feels more positive and all that stuff. But what I love about it is that it's real. And for the first time in a long time, I'm giving myself a chance to feel it all, and it's all okay. It's all okay. And it's with that there, I'm actually practicing how to be angry. Not for a one-on-one purpose, but for the thing that I do in life. Rage would be helpful to take on a system, to fight social injustices. I'm too nice about it all. And it's not, there's room in there to know that I can serve even more powerfully by having access to more things. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I am loving showing up as being here. And while this is the story that I'm choosing to share, the things that you see me do, that's really going to be what's going to show you what life is like being unapologetically yourself, and really being at the essence, the core, the real Niiamah here. And for now, I wanted to share this story. In the past, it would have embarrassed me. This was not necessarily easy to share. And at the same time, I am thrilled that the fullness of me is out in the world. And I want to make sure that I am being true to the journey of being who you are. It doesn't feel messy, it feels real. It's a part of it all. I appreciate you. I am grateful for you, and I look forward to you being on your journey as well. Leave a comment, leave a message. Let's continue the conversation. All right. I'm grateful for you. Here's to a happy Thanksgiving, and you being all of who you are, wherever you are, because that's needed too. Talk to you soon.